Welcome to Discovering. We're hopping on a ferry to Drummond Island to check out the Great Lakes Traditional Arts Gathering.
This is a chance to learn some skills that you probably won't find anywhere else. Daisy Costas, who is an elder of the James Bay Cree. This year, Daisy's doing rabbit skin blankets. We also have Ferdy Good here. He's built over 60 birch bark canoes. This year, he's building a moose skin boat.
Sit back, put your feet up, and come on along. It's Monday night and time for Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forests thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill, the eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Go east from anywhere in the UP and you'll end up at Detour Village. Hop on the ferry, cross Detour Passage, and you're on Drummond Island.
We wanted to be on an island because when you go to an island and you cross that ferry, you have a mental separation from everyday life and from your normal routine. And suddenly you're on an island. And it just so happens that at this spot, there is absolutely no cell phone coverage.
Tucked away in a quiet cove on the shores of Lake Huron, you'll find a group of very unique artists who come together once a year for an event called the Great Lakes Traditional Arts Gathering.
This event was started by myself and the executive director of the Great Lakes Lifeways Institute. His name is Kevin Finney. And we started it in 2012. So this will be the third year. The event is a total of 5 days, starts Wednesday evening with class sign-ups for Thursday. The core of the event is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And each evening we sign up for the following day's activities. What we offer here is the chance to learn a lot of very rare, difficult to access skills.
You only need the skirt until each nut gets cracked, and then they stop jumping. And so, let's check.
We have instructors from many walks of life and many areas of expertise, but I'd say that one of the binding threads of all of the instructors is that they are either tradition bearers or professionals or very knowledgeable in a subject. For instance, we have Barry Keegan this year doing stone tools.
Looking to make, this would be good for arrowheads. So teaching them the angles and how to prepare the edges and all the tricks to getting these flakes successfully one after the other. The round side is up and the flat side down. You need to round off the flat side, so you go all the way around it. You see the flakes went a little distance in. By the time I make 3 full passes all the way around it, the flakes go further and further in. And then this has more of a lens shape, just like this side does. In between each set of flakes, you abrade it a little bit to give it strength. That gives you more, lets the flakes travel a further distance because they're bigger. You can see how the flakes are traveling in a little bit further. They've made it to this line. But the next time they'll make it to the middle, and hopefully I can do the same from this side. If I want to remove, let's say that little trouble spot, you nibble away the edge so it's closer to the problem. See how it drops like a smile shape? And then I'll really grind that up with my eyes shut. The longer flakes you get are the ones that you take off of a ridge. That just makes the side flatter and flatter and flatter. So it's getting closer. This is coming here, this is coming a lot here. I've still got some of the flat in here and a lot of the flat in here to get rid of. Here's a next good strong ridge right here. Trying to set up another platform to take a larger flake off of it. It's getting closer. Starting to look like something. Right now the point still kind of dips a little bit, so I'll focus on the tip some right now. I'm going to try to get that one to go just about to the center if I can. It's starting to get that shape. That's probably where I'd quit with the stone and then sit down and use a lever tool to take the smaller flakes and finish it up. Right now the edge is a little bit wobbly here and it's all beveled down to this side, so I'd take a set of flakes off to bring it up so that it's centered.
One of the things that we look for in instructors are people who not only specialize in a skill, but who really have a deep understanding of nature and of the processes and materials and technologies in their ecosystems. We also have Ferdy Good here, and Ferdy is a master canoe maker. He's built over 60 birch bark canoes, at least one spruce bark canoe that he built here last year at GL Tag. We actually went out, peeled the tree here on the island, brought the bark back, and in the matter of 3 days built a floating spruce bark canoe. This year, by his own suggestion, because it's something he's wanted to do, he's building a moose skin boat. We're really fortunate to have Ferdy here because he's a top-notch instructor.
We decided to take it on as a challenge. Moose hide canoe hasn't been built for a long time. With the simple tools like the axe here for hewing the wood pieces on the canoe, primarily birch saplings were used to fashion all the wood components, the sheathing and the gunnels, and also the ribstock was all done with yellow birch and white birch. Those were cut and trimmed with the mokatagan. The mokatagan is the crooked knife, and it is the canoe maker's knife. It's pulled towards the user so that you can manicure your wood pieces and fine-tune the different parts of the wood, peel the bark off, do whatever trimming is necessary. Fine-tuning the ribs, white birch saplings, bent by eye, over the knee, no steam, no hot water, just using the natural flex of the wood and shaving it down so that it has a nice even taper. These are real old-fashioned tools, handmade by native people for many, many hundreds of years. Once they acquired the main ingredient, a piece of steel, to make the tool. Prior to that, everything was bone and stone. But to keep in the theme, I still got a real nice antler bone handle on this tool here. This is called babiche. Babiche is rawhide string. Once you cut deer hide, rawhide, moose hide, caribou hide, or whatever into strings, it becomes babiche. And the babiche is used to tie and lash the canoe together. To puncture the holes, we use a simple awl that is fashioned from an old file, and a handle is hafted onto it, and it allows us to puncture into the moose hide and do the lashing to make the attachments to the actual gunnel assembly, and also close the ends and attach it to the bottom frame of the moose hide canoe also. So with just a few tools and a lot of energy, you can come up with a moose hide canoe. The first thing we did was make the bed, and that gave us a very good location to work on, a cleaner area to work on versus working in the sand or the dirt here, you know. And once we had the bed made from balsam fir boughs, then we laid out the moose hides, brought them up from the lake, and looked them over very carefully and tried to figure out how we're going to piece them together. And that took quite a while, considering that none of us have built a moose hide canoe before, of course. This is the hair side of the moose hide canoe. This is the waterproof side of the canoe. The other side is the flesh side. So this canoe should not leak. A well-made canoe does not leak. So we consider this a very well-made canoe, so we will keep working at it until it does not leak. That's the goal. So once we got them all pieced together and had kind of like a blanket of moose hides, then we were able to lay down the gunnel assembly.
Needs it to get his oil out of the...
And begin attaching it, bringing the moose hide up around the assembly, and poking holes again with the awl, and attaching it to the framework. Once that was complete, we were able to begin sheathing the bottom, again with the birch saplings. Once those were in, we could start shaving the ribs down with the crooked knife, the mokatagan, and bend those over the knee, flexing them over the knee a little bit at a time until they came out with a real nice curve, and then place them in the canoe, cut them to length, drive them underneath the gunnels, and move on to the next one. There's 22 birch ribs in this moose hide canoe here today.
We also have Daisy Costas, who is an elder of the James Bay Cree, and Daisy is a wealth of knowledge. She grew up living in the bush, a hunting and gathering lifestyle, going seasonally from place to place, traveling by birch bark canoe. She had a pet crow growing up. This year, Daisy's doing rabbit skin blanket. We had probably 6 people who came to this event just to learn to make rabbit skin blankets, because it is such a difficult to find art form, and not a lot of people are doing it.
What we did here is we're making a rabbit skin blanket. We had to skin the rabbits, and then after we skinned the rabbits, then we had to strip the pieces of the rabbit skin. It's a long process, from beginning to the end. The yarn part is about the longest part, and then after that, and then you spin it. And the spinning part, it doesn't take that long, maybe 15 minutes at the most to spin just a piece of yarn, maybe a piece of yarn about 6 feet, long. And then once it's spun, then you go ahead and weave it through. And what I use is like a loop. Like a chain loop all the way through and then all the way back. And I just go back and forth and loop each piece. You have to do this by feel, because the loops are hidden underneath that fur, so you have to kind of feel around where those loops are. Some of them are really tight because the yarn is starting to harden a little bit. It's drying, and that takes a little bit longer to get the needle through the ones that are kind of dry. And this one probably is going to be like a baby-sized blanket, but you can make the double-sized bed. You can make queen size. You can make king size. Growing up, I saw a lot of king size ones. That we used, and we all were able to sleep together. As kids. After it's all made, then to preserve it. It's got to be nice and dry, before you put it into another, like a sheet. You can use flannel sheet, or you can use cotton and make it into like a quilt. And then you could use it for a long, long time.
We have Jan Zender this year, and he is building a traditional toboggan. Toboggans are a wonderful thing. The toboggan is just a fantastic way to haul a load in the wintertime. It's a really important historic technology and a traditional art in its own right.
In my mind, toboggans aren't for sliding downhill, but they're for getting your stuff in and out from your house, or in fact, like we live 3 miles from the road in the wintertime, so there were times where we hauled our groceries, our children, and our laundry, on toboggans with maybe dogs or something. And so what's going on here is the process of making a toboggan, and of course that was a traditional Indian mode of winter transportation. And I kind of see toboggans as winter canoes, and it kind of has that little bit shape, gets narrower at the top and the bottom, and we started with a log, and then we split it in half, and then in quarters, and then in the bottoms of those quarters we split out 3 boards. And so we bent those boards with just hot water. They have some big cauldrons over there. We stuck the boards in the cauldrons, and then got them hot, and then we got some boiling water, and we just made this log form here with some logs in there, and just started pouring boiling water on them, and gradually bent them down, and we have them weighted and staked here and there. and now they have to be fastened together with these little crossbars in there. And these guys are busy making those crossbars. It's all going to be tied together with rawhide, so really this could all just be done with an axe and a crooked knife and an awl.
When we first showed up here, this was mostly woods. There was one path coming back, nothing, no buildings, no clearings. And we walked around one time and just immediately knew it. We said, this is it. So over the course of the next year, before the event, we put a well in, and it just so happens that that well was an artesian well, so it flows what I think is the best water I've ever had. We built some pavilion, some infrastructure and some parking, and that's how this site came to be. We have a lot of artists here, and these artists are producing some of the finest art in the world that within these mediums. And we have a camp store. Anyone is welcome to sell anything in the camp store. We have evening activities as well. We try to schedule an evening activity every night. We always have a featured performer, and we try to pick a very folky band that has a really good sound, and it's all acoustic. We don't have any electricity here except generators that we occasionally fire up. This year we're doing what's called a poetry sweat, which is basically a creative writing and performance class. We try to make it really affordable. We are a 501(c) nonprofit, so this event is not here to make money. This event is here to further our mission, and our mission is to preserve the land, arts, and cultures of the Great Lakes and beyond, but with a specific focus on the Great Lakes. This is a chance to learn some skills that you probably won't find anywhere else in a very beautiful, pristine location in the Northwoods on an island where you have nothing else to do but learn these skills.
I'll run it. Replenished.
That's feeling good. That was really fun to have that opportunity to make such an interesting canoe in this day and age, and be able to bond with a number of people that were dedicated to the project to see it through and see the end product and enjoy the ride on the water. So it was a success.
Here's a quick look at what's happening in the UP. The 55th Annual National Trappers Convention and Outdoor Show is the largest trapping show in the country, and it's coming to the UP State Fairgrounds in Escanaba July 24th through the 27th. You'll find hundreds of vendors and trapping demos by some of the best every hour on the hour for 3 straight days. Don't miss this rare opportunity to visit this convention right here in our own backyard. July 26th and 27th is the 2nd annual Big Kids in the Woods ORV excursion. On the 26th, the kids will be at the UP State Fairgrounds getting their ORV certifications and testing their skills on the track. On Sunday the 27th, the kids will participate in a 25-mile ORV ride through the Hiawatha National Forest. This is a great chance to get kids connected with the outdoors and teach them about responsible ORV riding. The application period for antlerless deer licenses is now open through August 15th. In the UP, licenses are available only in DMUs 122, 055, and 155, and have been eliminated in other UP DMUs due to the severe winter. Here's something new. You can now buy your Federal Migratory Bird Stamp, also known as the Duck Stamp, online at mdnr-elicense.com. It'll also be available at retail locations in late August. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week again, right here on Discovering.